Thank you very much, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. I'm Dr. Shimwanga, Council Secretary for SIKONGO Town Council. Chair, I would like to call upon my team to introduce themselves, starting from my right.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Acholwe Masilani. I'm the Director Planning, SIKONGO Town Council. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the committee. My name is Ashley Aponde. I'm the Acting Director Finance. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of Parliament. My name is Yamatimba Stephen, Director Human Resource and Administration. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the committee. I'm Imbola Kalaluka, Council Advocate, SIKONGO Town Council.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the committee. My name is Tewadi Mutinta, Acting Chief Internal Auditor. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Amunetwa Pomo, Assistant Director, Engineering.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the committee. I'm Dexter Mwangelo Amlonda, Procurement Officer.
We proceed to our permanent witnesses. We can start with the permanent witness from the Local Government Service Commission.
Good morning, Chair, once again. Good morning, SIKONGO Town Council. My name is Walia William Tale from the Local Government Service Commission. Thank you.
The Ministry of Finance.
Good morning once again, Chair. Good morning, members of the committee. Good morning, CS and your team. My name is Joseph Banda from Ministry of Finance, Accountant General's Office. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members of Parliament. Good morning, SIKONGO Town Council. Good morning, Secretariat. Good morning, everyone else. My name is Sia from Ministry of Finance, Accountant General's Office. Thank you.
A very good morning to you, Chair, and the honorable committee, and morning, everyone. My name is Mumbasaka from the Ministry of Finance and National Planning. Thank you.
Chairperson, good morning to you and the honorable members of your committee. SIKONGO Town Council, you are welcome. I'm Kazinga Kennedy from Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Thank you.
The Office of the Auditor General.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members of the committee. Good morning, CS and your team. My name is John Siameja, Director, Western Province. Thank you, Chair.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members of the committee. And good morning, SIKONGO Town Council. Welcome. My name is Patrick Acheche from Mungu Audit Office. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Simon Munyama from the Planning and Research Department, Office of the Auditor General.
Thank you. Office of the Clerk, Secretariat.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, members of this committee. Good morning, SIKONGO. My name is Beverly Nzala from the Office of the Clerk. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good morning to you. Good morning, honorable members, and good morning, SIKONGO Town Council. Andrew Siwale is my name from the Office of the Clerk of the National Assembly. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. Greetings to you once again and other honorable members. Dr. Monde and your team, good morning and you're welcome. I am Chirimboy Elijah from the Office of the Clerk of the National Assembly. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you so much, Secretariat. I now wish to call upon the honorable members of the committee. We have the honorable member for Mufumbwe joining us virtually. Honorable Kamondo, are you there? All right, we proceed to the members who are here. Honorable Member of Parliament for Mangango.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, good morning to you. Morning, our permanent witnesses, Secretariat. Good morning. SIKONGO Town Council, you are most welcome before your committee. Be calm. Mwene Lohamba, Member of Parliament for Mangango. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The Honorable Member of Parliament for Kalulushi.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning, Good morning, colleagues. CS, you're welcome with your team. My name is Kambamba Mlenga. I am Member of Parliament for the good people of Kalulushi on the Copper Belt. You're welcome once again.
Thank you so much. The Honorable Member of Parliament for Siavonga.
Chairperson, thank you very much. SIKONGO Town Council, you are welcome and good morning. Good morning, permanent witnesses. I'm Mulunda Darius, Member of Parliament for Siavonga constituency. Chairperson, I thank you.
Thank you so much. CS, my name is Christopher Shakafuswa. I represent the good people of Mandevu constituency of Lusaka district. And you are in Mandevu constituency, so you are welcome to Mandevu constituency. I am the vice chairperson of the committee and privileged to chair this session this morning. I now wish to call upon you, CS, to present your memorandum.
Thank you very much, Chair. Before I submit my report, Chair, I would like to seek permission to submit additional information to be read alongside Appendix 2, Appendix 24, and Appendix 13 of my report, Chair. I submit.
Do you have 15 copies of the addendum, that additional information?
Yes, Chair.
Please go ahead and give it to Secretariat.
Thank you very much, Chair.
The additional information is admitted to be part of the report. You may proceed.
Thank you, Chair. We start with the first one, Chair, irregular award of contracts to contractors outside the province. Cause of query, management acknowledges the Auditor General's findings and reports that the cause of query was due to lack of responses from bidders located within the province as highlighted in the bid opening report and the accompanying list of invited businesses. Action taken, the Chair, management has always made an indication that priority will be given to SIKONGO-based contractor when publishing tenders as indicated on Appendix 1. The Chair, we move to the second one, which is delayed completion of projects. The first one is construction of 1x3 classroom blocks at Lundu Community School. Cause of query, management recognizes the Auditor General's findings and attributes the delay to the project manager's mismanagement of the contract. And action taken, the project manager was held responsible administratively and corrective measures were undertaken as evidenced on an Appendix 2. Remedial measures, management will continue to enhance contract management across all projects to ensure prompt identification and correction of errors during implementation. Construction of health post at Likuyu Primary School. Cause of query, management acknowledges the Auditor General's findings, attributing the delay to work stoppages between December 2024 and July 2025 due to inaccessibility of the project site and delayed mobilization by the contractor. Action taken, management reports that the contractor was engaged to mobilize in July 2025 and brought the project to nearly completion by October 2025, the date of the last supervision visit, as evidenced on Appendix 3. Remedial measure taken, Chair, management will continue to intensify project and contract management for timely identification and rectification of errors in all projects under implementation. Construction of maternity wing at Lubuta Health Post. Cause of query, management accepts the Auditor General's findings and attributes the delay to work stoppages between December 2024 and July 2025 due to inaccessibility of the project site and delayed mobilization by the contractor. Action taken, management wishes to report that the contractor was engaged to mobilize in July 2025 and the project is now completed, awaiting inspection as evidenced on Appendix 4. Construction of maternity wing at Lwahumba Health Post. Cause of query, management admits the Auditor General's findings, accrediting the delay to the contractor abandoning the project site and the project manager's failure to take action against the contractor timely. Action taken, management held the project manager responsible and corrective measures were implemented as at October 2025. During the last project supervision, all the cited defects were being worked on as referenced in Appendix 5 and 10. Remedial measures, management commits to timely identification and correction of errors during project implementation across all ongoing construction projects. Construction of maternity wing at Loke West Rural Health Center. Cause of query, management recognizes the Auditor General's findings attributing the delay to work stoppages from 2024 to 2025, during which access was constrained. Action taken, management reports that the contractor was engaged in July 2025 and the project completed in October 2025 as referenced in Appendix 6. Remedial measures, management commits to ensure enhanced project and contract management for timely moderations during project implementation. Construction of health post at Malondo. Cause of query, management recognizes the Auditor General's findings and attributes the cause of the delay to failure by the contractor to work on the defects timely. Action taken, management engaged the contractor to mobilize in September 2025, and the contractor has not responded positively. However, management has recommended the project for termination as evidenced on Appendix 7. Remedial measure, management commits to provide improved project and contract management to ensure timely project implementation. Poor workmanship, construction of health post at Katondwana. Management recognizes the Auditor General's findings and reports that the query arose from the delayed inspection of the project due to non-accessibility of the project site. Action taken, management reports that the contractor was engaged to mobilize in September 2025 to address defects identified by auditors during audit. As the contract was still within the defect liability period, as at November 2025, the contractor worked on the defects, awaiting inspection in July 2026, as evidenced on Appendix 8. Remedial measures, management commits to ensure enhanced project and contract management for timely moderations during project implementation. Undelivered equipment and furniture. Cause of query, management acknowledges the Auditor General's findings and attributes the cause to failure by contractors to meet their contractual obligations. Action taken, the cited contractors were pursued to deliver the equipment as evidenced on Appendix 9. Remedial measure, management commits to ensure that all procured goods and services are delivered before payments are made. Implementation of youth and women empowerment grants. Management response, cause of query. Management acknowledges the findings of the Auditor General and wishes to report that the cause of the query was as a result of misplacement of documents. Action taken, management secured a bank confirmation to verify that funds were transferred to the legitimate beneficiaries as shown on Appendix 10. Remedial measures, management commits to ensure that the CDF guideline number 5.2.5 subsection C, which guides on the eligibility, will be adhered to. Questionable sharing of account numbers by clubs. Cause of query, management accepts the Auditor General's findings, citing the bank having assigned one account number to more than one club. Action taken, management engaged the bank to lock the queried account numbers until the matter is resolved. Then the bank statements were requested to verify the sharing of account numbers and confirm the availability of funds Thank you.
Please go ahead. Proceed.
And the clubs involved were notified of the findings and asked to return the excess funds that were incorrectly posted to their accounts at details in Appendix 11. Remedial measures undertaken. Chair, the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development has implemented an integrated constituency development fund management information system for all local authorities, including SIKONGO Town Council. This system aims to improve community fund delivery by replacing the manual data capturing method, allowing for better detection of data misrepresentation before payments are made. Irregular payment of group interest. Cause of query. Management recognizes the Auditor General's observation and reports that the cause of query was due to management oversight. Action taken. Management cautioned the accountable officers to cease using interest for payments such as daily subsistence allowances and fuel. Additionally, a reliable internet service was procured that enabled introduction of internet banking system for the online payment that eliminated such transactions as shown in Appendix 12. Remedial measure. Management wishes to inform the committee that the council shall strictly adhere to Section 3.26 of the Ministry of Finance, Treasury and Financial Management Circular Number 1 of 2024. We move to cross-cutting issues. I start with Appendix 1, Budget and Funding. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the findings of the Auditor General and wishes to report that the cause of query was as a result of non-receipt of full funding for the year under review. Action taken. Management requested for the funds with assurance provided in the response as evidenced in Appendix 13 attached. Remedial measures. Management will continue to be making follow-ups for the funds whenever need arise. Appendix 1.1, retained funds. Cause of query. Management recognizes the Auditor General's findings and reports that the cause of query was due to funds retained by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development for the procurement of chief retainers, motorbikes, and ambulance. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the ambulance was delivered while a follow-up was made on the chief retainers, motorbikes, as evidenced on Appendix 14. Remedial measures. Management wishes to assure the committee that the council will continue to make follow-ups on the matter with the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Appendix 2.1, and total unspent funds for community projects. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the observations made by the Auditor General and wishes to report that the unspent funds were committed to uncompleted projects for the year 2024 and retentions for the year 2025. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the said funds have been spent on various projects as indicated on the table below and the ledgers as well as bank statements attached on Appendix 15. Remedial measure. Management wishes to assure the committee that SIKONGO Town Council will always endeavor to implement activities funded within the financial year when funds are dispersed. Appendix 2.2, unspent funds, empowerment grant. Chair, management recognizes the Auditor General's observations and commits to continue adhering to established guidelines to ensure timely disbursement, as this particular component was fully spent. Appendix 2.3, unspent funds under secondary and boarding, as well as skills development. Chair, this one also, the council spent all the funds under this component. And management affirms the Auditor General's observation and commits to continue adhering to established guidelines to ensure timely disbursement to beneficiaries. Appendix 2.4, unspent funds under loans. Cause of query. Management admits the Auditor General's observation, clarifying that the query arose from the accumulated interest on loans and loan repayments. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the accumulated funds have been allocated to other CDF beneficiaries as evidenced on Appendix 16 attached. Remedial measures, management wishes to inform the committee that the council will continue to disburse all the funds to the beneficiaries timely. Appendix 2.5, total unspent funds, administrative component. Chair, cause of query, management acknowledges the Auditor General's observation attributing the cause of query to high operational costs associated with CDF-related activities implemented during the year under review. Action taken. Management embarked on coordinated joint monitoring visits to reduce on the high uptake of the component to pave way for other unforeseen but mandatory CDF-related activities as evidenced on Appendix 17. Remedial measures. Management has planned to engage local structures to reduce expenses on travel and supervision costs. Appendix 3, community projects. Management response. Chair, the cause of query, action taken, and status of the queried projects are on the table below, as well as remedial measures. With your permission, Chair, I don't know if I can go through the table.
Yes, go through it.
Thank you, Chair. We proceed with 1, RIA. Chair, the cause of query is that this project was centrally procured, and the action taken, guidance has been given by the ministry, and the work is still in progress. And remedial measures, Chair, on this one will continue to make follow-ups. Chief's Palace, the cause of query, Chair, is that the project has been centrally procured as well, and the council has continued to make follow-ups, and the work is still in progress, and the council will continue to make follow-ups. Number 3, construction of a storage shed in Mala Ward. Chair, the cause of query was the contractor abandoning site, and the action taken, the contract was terminated and re-awarded to Liamas General Dealers, and the project is at superstructure completion, and the council will continue to closely monitor and supervise the project. Number 4, completion of staff house at Keletwa Primary School. The cause of query, Chair, was abandonment of site by the contractor, and the particular contract was terminated and re-awarded to Silumu Construction Company, and this company completed the project. We move to number 5, completion of staff house at Ngombere Primary School. Chair, this also, the cause of query was abandonment of the project by the contractor, and the management terminated the contract and re-awarded the contract to another contractor who completed the project. Construction of 1x3 classroom block at Makia Primary School. Chair, the cause of query was inefficiency by the contractor, and the contract was recommended for termination while the project was at roof level. Chair, the remedial measures, the management will ensure timely procurement of the said project once the termination is approved. Number 7, construction of 1x3 classroom at Siambangula. Chair, the cause of this query was delayed works during defect liability period. Chair, the defects are being worked on using the retention, and work is still in progress. Chair, we move to 2024 projects. The chief retainers motorbikes. Chair, these were centrally procured projects, and the council will continue to make follow-ups. This applies, Chair, to the ambulance. We move to number 3, the construction of health post at Likuyu Primary School. Chair, the cause of the query was delayed implementation by the contractor, and the contractor is currently on site, and the work is progressing. And management will continue to monitor this project closely until it completes. Chair, we move to number 4, construction of health post at Ngulumani Primary School. Chair, the cause of query for this one was delayed implementation by the contractor, and work is still in progress. The project has so far been roofed, plastered, and carpentry, and work and the joinery works have been completed, and the council chair will continue to monitor this project until it is completed. Number 5, construction of a 1x2 classroom block at Ilundu Community School. Chair, this one was also caused by delayed implementation by the contractor, and works are progressing well. As we speak, the project, the classroom block has been roofed, plastered, and the carpentry and joinery works have been completed, and the council will continue to monitor until the project completes. Chair, the construction of maternity wing at Lioke West Rural Health Center. Chair, this one also was caused by delayed implementation by the contractor, and the contractor was engaged, and the project is now completed. Chair, we move to number 7, purchase of constituency development fund desks, lot 4. Chair, this was also attributed to the delay on the implementation by the contractor, and the contractor was pursued and the desks were delivered. Chair, this applies to number 8 as well. The desks were delivered. Number 9, construction of maternity wing at Lubuta Health Post. This was caused by the delayed implementation, and the contractor was engaged, and the project is completed. Construction of health post at Malondo. This one as well, Chair, was caused by the delay in the implementation by the contractor, and the contractor was engaged severally. And the defects, the contractor was engaged to work on the defects. Chair, I would like to correct number 10.
Go ahead.
The contractor was engaged on several occasions, but he has not responded positively. And we have since recommended the project for termination so that we are able to award the contract to another contractor. Chair, I proceed to number 10, construction of health post at Katondwana. Chair, this as well, the cause of the query is attributed to the delay by the contractor to implement the project, and the contractor was engaged, awaiting delivery of the equipment and furniture, and the work is still in progress. Chair, the council will continue to monitor these projects that are still outstanding until they are completed, as evidenced on Appendix 18. We move to Appendix 3.1, analysis of performance of desks. Chair, management acknowledges the observations by the Auditor General and wishes to report that the cause of the query was due to the slow pace by the contractors. Action taken, management cautioned the contractors, and all the desks were delivered as shown on Appendix 19. Remedial measures, management commits to assure timely delivery of all projects being procured by the council. Appendix 6, youth and women empowerment grant, performance analysis, management response. Management recognizes the Auditor General's observations and commits to continue adhering to established guidelines to ensure timely disbursement of funds to beneficiaries. Appendix 7, misapplication of loan funds. Cause of query, management acknowledges the observations by the Auditor General and wishes to report that the cause of the query was due to beneficiaries' failure to follow procedure on changing business activities. Action taken, management engaged the beneficiaries to obtain approval for change of business activities as indicated on Appendix 20. Remedial measures, management wishes to inform the committee that the council will enhance monitoring of all beneficiaries to ensure implementation of loan activities is done according to the approved programs. Appendix 7.1, failure to implement project loans. The cause of query, management acknowledges the observations of the Auditor General, attributing the cause to beneficiaries' failure to apply for ZESCO power connectivity. Action taken, management wishes to report that the beneficiaries were assisted to apply for ZESCO power connectivity, and the recommendation letters were issued to the client as evidenced on Appendix 21. Remedial measures, management wishes to inform the committee that the council will enhance monitoring of all beneficiaries to ensure implementation of loan activities is done according to the approved programs. Appendix 7.2, failure to recover loans. Cause of query, management acknowledges the Auditor General's observations and states that the cause arose from businesses
7.1. Have you read 7.1?
Yes, Chair.
Proceed.
Thank you, Chair. We move to 7.2. Management acknowledges the auditor's observation and states that the query arose from businesses underperforming against projections. Action taken, management wishes to report that the beneficiaries were cautioned to re-strategize their businesses and start repaying the loans. Additionally, management has so far collected a total sum of 571,012.87 kwacha as evidenced on Appendix 22. Remedial measures, management wishes to inform the committee that the council will enhance monitoring of all beneficiaries to ensure implementation of loan activities is done according to the approved projects. Appendix 8, bursaries, performance analysis. Cause of query, management acknowledges the observations made by the Auditor General and wishes to mention that the cause of the query was due to the majority of the students being returning students. Action taken, management has continued to pay for the returning students until completion as evidenced on Appendix 23. Remedial measures, management will continue to monitor students and pupil progression to ensure that all sponsored students are paid for and completes their school programs. Appendix 10, unsupported payments. Chair, the cause of...
You can read the total involved and the transaction, number of transactions.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. The unsupported payments involving 140 transactions amounting to 12,902,428 kwacha. Management response, cause of query. Management acknowledges the observation of the Auditor General and wishes to inform the committee that the cause of the query was due to mismanagement of submissions of receipts by the contractor. Action taken. Chair, management wishes to report that the responsible officer was held responsible and a corrective measure has been undertaken, which was to engage the contractors to resubmit all the receipts as evidenced on Appendix 14. Remedial measures, management will endeavor to collect all the receipts and continue making follow-ups on the receipts after payments. Appendix 11, failure to obtain ZRA clearance before payment. Cause of query, management acknowledges the observations by the Auditor General and wishes to inform the committee that the cause of the query was due to management oversight. Chair, action taken on this one. Management reports that obtaining ZRA clearance before payment was commenced immediately after audit as evidenced on Appendix 25. Remedial measures, management will continue to follow the guidelines. I submit my report, Chair, for consideration. Thank you.
Thank you so much, CS. I now wish to call upon the honorable members of the committee to ask points of clarifications, if any. Yes, Honorable Mwene. Kindly switch off your mic, CS.
Thank you very much, Chair. I've got a problem, I think a very big problem with SIKONGO. Very big problem with SIKONGO. Maybe we just need to find ways and the means on helping this particular council, especially where it comes to almost everything. Projects unfinished, they are taking time to finish. Up to now, most of them are not yet completed. Maybe if I can just find out from the CS, do you have the engineering department, and have you been with, or how many have you had in your council in 2024? Engineering department. I submit, Chair.
Yes, yes.
Maybe we can interact.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I would like to submit that I have a Department of Engineering Services. Unfortunately, the project manager that was in charge of all the projects erred and was cautioned and is no longer with us at the moment. Is still undergoing disciplinary charges over some of the issues, most of the issues that have been raised in this report. I submit, Chair.
Who was this project manager, CS? And what position did they hold in the council?
This was Director Engineering, Engineer Mbewe.
Engineer Mbewe. Yes, Honorable Mwene.
Thank you, Chair. You had only one individual in the department?
No, Chair, I had other officers, though very junior, but these are the officers that I've worked with from the time the engineer was suspended, Chair. They are the ones that have implemented the corrective measures that we have implemented so far.
Chair, through you, I think I'm finding it challenging, because even if we ask project by project, the bottom line is that the projects are not done. So I was trying to inquire like that so that we find out the root cause to this problem and finish the structures. Maybe let me firstly inquire on what prompted you to, on page 4, on the irregular award of contracts to contractors outside the province. Are you telling your committee that there was none, firstly in SIKONGO, secondly, the entire Western Province that could do these works that you are doing in SIKONGO, firstly. Secondly, Chair, maybe the font size also for this table. CS, next time when you bring these documents, please put them on font size number 12. We are able to read that. You can see already we are wearing glasses and we are still not able to use, unless maybe we bring microscopes and magnify further, but otherwise I can't read anything, Chair, in my case. So are you telling your committee that none of the contractors in SIKONGO as well as in Western Province was able to do these jobs that tried to give to other people outside the province? Or you just thought of, okay, you want a job, can you come here, I'll give you a contract. Come here, I'll give you. You call all these contractors from outside the province based on your own likes and the like. I submit, Chair.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I'll start with the first question on the concern over the uncompleted projects. Chair, I would like to submit before this committee that in 2024, the period under review, Chair, SIKONGO was implementing 27 approved projects, out of which at the time of audit, 8 out of 22 were completed, and after audit verifications, we had about 13 that were completed, and as we speak, Chair, we only have 6 that are outstanding as presented in the report. Chair, I would like to add that out of this, the 6 that have not yet been completed, Chair, these projects are located in waterlogged areas that are difficult to reach during rain season, and as such, Chair, the implementation period for these projects is just 6 months of the 12 months of the year. So, Chair, that is why you have seen that these projects are not completed as we speak. However, Chair, as a corrective measures, management will ensure that the contractors are on site and all the materials are procured and they are working before the onset of the rains. As we speak, all the contractors are on site, and as you can see in the appendices that we have attached, although we are relying on pictures, Chair, awaiting verifications when the place is accessible in July, Chair, I submit. Then on the issue of the font size, Chair...
You want to be on record that as we speak, all the contractors are on site?
Yes, other than the one that has not responded for Malondo. The rest, they are on site, and we attempted to reach them in December. The vehicle got stuck and the officers ended up being on the water for about 2 nights. So the next attempt that we are going to make, Chair, is in July when the places are accessible.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair. Then on the issue of the font, Chair, this is regrettable. We were worried to alter the Auditor General's report. Hence, we reported it as it was. I submit, Chair. And on the irregular award of contracts to contractors outside the province, Chair, I would like to submit that when publishing bids, the Council indicates that priority will be given to contractors within SIKONGO district. However, the unfortunate part on this particular project, Chair, was that the contractors were all invited to apply for the tender. Apparently, only the 4 contractors from outside SIKONGO district are the ones that responded to the bid. The Chair, hence this occurrence, I submit.
The cover tells us that memorandum of the controlling officer on the review of constituency development fund of local authorities for the financial year ended 31st December 2024. Chair, when we go to page 4, just like my colleague had said, irregular award of contracts to contractors outside the province. Further, when we read, we are told 2,310,328 went outside SIKONGO. 2 million, which the people of SIKONGO were supposed to have benefited. You see, when these contracts are awarded to the locals, it means the local economy improves. Now, when you look further on the table, contractors outside the province, one is from Uzakile Kitwe, the other one is from Woodlands Lusaka, the other one is from Makeni. When you look at these amounts and the projects, one, it's a maternity wing. The other one is a health post. The other one is a classroom block. My chair, my question, CS, through chair, is that, is this the first time SIKONGO is having a maternity wing? Is this the first time SIKONGO is building a classroom block, etc., etc.? Because this is 2024 year ending. You mean the whole entire SIKONGO has no contractor? The question would be, what are you building through CDF? Because these are common projects across the board. So if you say there was no contractor or there were no bids, who has been doing your classroom blocks? From 2021 to 2024, do you not have classroom blocks? Or are they still done outside from contractors outside the district? Maybe that would be my question.
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I would like to submit that we have been having projects in SIKONGO that are completed as earlier stated. And Chair, we have a mixture of contractors. We have both local and those that are outside the province, but have branches in SIKONGO, Chair. These contractors have applied with the council to trade in SIKONGO, and they have been issued with businesses licenses. I submit, Chair.
Honorable Kampamba. Your mic? CS, when you're done, kindly be switching off the microphone.
Chair, I think then I'm taken aback. So these contractors, why are we having a query of irregular awarding when these are registered? My question was that if we do have, as CS has said, we have contractors who could be outside the district or the province but registered in SIKONGO, okay? The audit query is that these people, obviously for it to be a query, they're not registered in SIKONGO. Is that correct, CS?
They are registered in SIKONGO. We issued them with business licenses.
The Auditor General has questioned that you picked contractors outside the province, one from Kitwe and two from Lusaka. These are based in Lusaka. Are you saying that the query by the Auditor General is wrong? Yes, yes.
Thank you very much, Chair. The auditor's report is not wrong, Chair, and we have acknowledged the findings. Chair, we
how was the bidding done for these particular jobs?
Chair, I would
was
like
it simplified bidding or national bidding?
Chair, I would like to take you to Appendix 1, where the details on this query are displayed. Chair, the first page on Appendix 1 is the list of invited bidders for this particular project, which includes all local contractors in SIKONGO district and those from outside, all those who registered to conduct business in SIKONGO district, Chair. And then the next page of the same attachment has the bid opening report, which shows the list of contractors that responded to this particular bid after the invitation that is on the first page. I submit, Chair.
Yes, Honorable Mwini.
Thank you so much. Chair, auditors are saying these contractors are outside the province. And she's saying, the CS is saying, these contractors, Chair, are based in SIKONGO. And they are registered to conduct business in SIKONGO. Are you able to provide their physical addresses? Because if they are based in SIKONGO, they are supposed to bear SIKONGO physical addresses. The reason why the auditors picked it like this is because the physical addresses, only their documentations, are based where they are coming from. So are you able to provide their physical addresses? Submit, Chair.
Yes, CS.
Chair, the physical addresses are correctly indicated as reported by the Auditor General. What we based on was the business levy, which they registered under SIKONGO Town Council.
Yes, Honorable Mwini.
So according to CS, then these businesses are based in SIKONGO, or they just pay the levy in SIKONGO? I submit, Chair.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I would like to submit that when publishing a bid, there are provisions on the EGP platform where these bids are published, and they give options to pick all those that are conducting business and in the district, and these particular businesses, Chair, it came out as some of those that are conducting business in SIKONGO, as indicated on the EGP report that is printed and attached to this report I submit.
Yes, Office of the Auditor General.
Thank you, Chair. Normally when you are carrying out audits of this nature, Chair, we normally go to PACRA, and the PACRA gives us actually details of the directors of each contractor. So the address that you see in our report, Chair, they are at PACRA office. I submit, Chair.
Yes, I have the problem with the witness. Witness, you picked contractors outside the province, and some of the works are actually not done. You see, one of the contractor that you picked was for the construction of maternity wing at Lubuta, not Lubuta, Ruahumba Health Post. This building is incomplete. Then the other one, yes, it's also incomplete. To poor workmanship at Katondwana and Lunde. I was hoping you say, going forward, we ensure that we pick contractors within the province. Then we move to another question. You want to defend something which is not right. Huh? Sis, what is your comment?
Chair, this is regrettable. I was meant to give a picture then, but going forward, we have never engaged this particular project, contractors to conduct business in SIKONGO again.
We make progress like that, sis. Not giving explanations, yet the query is there. Sure. We move to another question, honorable members. Yes, Honorable Mwini.
Thank you very much. Chair, I think my question, as I said, if we start going project by project, we can spend 3 days querying SIKONGO Town Council. Maybe my first question on these structures, poor workmanship, uncompleted structures, okay? Where, how many times do you do your routine checkups on these projects? Maybe CS 1 and 2. What challenges are you facing, or you engineering department? What challenges are you facing? Because I'm seeing the blame is mainly given to contractors. No, the contractor is a problem. No, the contractor didn't correspond on time. No, the contractor has a poor workmanship because the contractor, but as the ones that have been given the mandate, one, to choose correct contractors that are going to provide a good workmanship, those that are going to work and complete the projects on time, those that are going to provide, to accept, do the jobs at the correct price. So maybe to the CS chair, one, what do you base on the selection of these contractors? And then secondly, engineering department, how often do you do your routine checkups of these works? Because the CS has confirmed that she has never run short of human resource in the engineering department, meaning it's a full-fledged department. But for them not to be able to have one structures unfinished, it means they don't check or they are not working properly with the contractors. And for them to have short works, it means they are not directing or telling the contractors the correct things to do as the specs that are given to them. So what is your challenge? I submit, Chair. I don't know how many questions you pick from there.
Yes, yes. I'll
Thank
come
you
back
very much.
to you, Honorable Kampamba.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, as I earlier mentioned, these are some of the most problematic areas of SIKONGO district. Hence, we have issues surrounding projects coming from that particular area, other than the rest of the areas that are accessible throughout the year. Chair, I would like to submit that I have the engineering department. Unfortunately, we just experienced a challenge, especially during the time of audit, when the director engineering that was responsible for these particular projects was not available, Chair, to perform his functions. Chair, I would also like to submit that, yes, we have a challenge in these areas because we are not able to monitor and inspect projects during implementation whenever need arise, because most of the time they are not accessible. Chair, during the time of audit, this was the time that these areas were becoming accessible. And Chair, I would like to confirm that I had not yet even been to these project sites during the time of audit. And I appreciated the auditor's findings, which highlighted all these issues. And Chair, now we have learned the terrain of SIKONGO, and we have learned the problematic areas, and we have put in measures, Chair, to try and focus on the attention for these particular areas that are problematic. Chair, I submit.
Honorable Kampamba.
Thank you, Chair.
Your microphone, please.
Thank you, Chair. When you go to page 4, construction of a maternity wing at Luvuta Health Post, when we read through, we are told that a sum of 912,732 was for the completion. Page 7, yes, on page 7. And then you further tell us that the completion period of 4 months, commencing 25th July 2024, ending 25th November 2024. But as of 30th September 2025, amounts totaling 775,670 had been paid to the contractor, leaving a balance of 137.62 kwacha. A physical inspection, CS, carried out on July 2025 revealed that the structure had not been completed 7 months after the expected completion date. Then you show us the maternity wing. It looks like, as small as it is, the font, it looks like it hasn't been roofed, it hasn't been plastered. It looks like it's a what do you call it, a superstructure, right? Yeah. Then management's response is that management accepts the Auditor General's finding and attributes the delay of work stoppage between December 2024 and July 2025 due to inaccessibility. And this is my worry. Due to inaccessibility of the project site and delayed mobilization. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the contractor was engaged to mobilize in July 2025 and the project is now completed, awaiting inspection as evidenced on Appendix 4. Chair, I went to Appendix 4. When you look at I'm made to believe is the same maternity wing. Now, we are told in most of your reports that most of these structures, CS, you find it's either they are cracking or they are not. It's a beautiful picture, but I'm taken a bit aback, because when you look at the picture as when that money was given and the picture of the 137,000 kwacha, it looks like so much was done in the 137,000 kwacha, less to what the 500 and something thousand kwacha had done. My question, CS, is that you have not inspected this structure. It's waiting inspection. Is this structure suitable? Because when you look at the amount that was given to the contractor prior to this picture you have given is so much more. And that looks like a superstructure. Here we have the painting, we have everything. That is my worry. So little amount, it's a little amount of money could do so much compared to what was initially given. And it was just a superstructure. So I'm trying to just figure out the mathematics here. Are these structures, or they just use the paintings, and are these substandard works, or what, CS?
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'm meant to believe the comment was coming from page 7.
Yes.
Lubuta Health Post. Yes, Chair. Chair, I would like to submit that when we look at the structure, at the time of audit inspection, it was roofed and it had only one coat that was painted. Chair, the 775 amount that has been stated by the auditors was correctly stated, and that was the amount that was paid to the contractor at that stage. However, most of the works at that stage, most of the works were done. They were remaining with just a few works. So this is at this point, Chair, that we wrote to the contractor, as evidenced on the letters that are attached on Appendix 4. We wrote to the contractor to rectify the defects that were identified by the auditors and to have the structure completed. Chair, we have not yet paid this particular contractor to date. We are waiting our inspection and certification of work so that we pay. However, the contractor has requested and has given us the pictures, but we are yet to inspect when the place is accessible so that we can certify the works to ensure that the concern raised by the Honorable is addressed adequately before we can pay the remaining amount. I submit.
Yes, Honorable Mwene.
Thank you very much, Chair. CS, you have talked about measures that you have come up with, so that from now onwards, you felt you will be managing to do your structures within time. What are those measures that you have come up with? That is the first question. The second question that you must be aware of is you are not the only council that have got hard to reach places. There are constituencies or districts that are on islands, but they manage to finish their works on time. We are not discussing those places, but you know them within this country. They finish on time. So for you to come here and say, no, these are hard to reach places, so we are what and so on, I think it's not understandable. What you are expected of is to deliver and finish the works on time. That's why I've firstly asked what measures you have now put in place to make sure that these structures are completed on time. And then, now, secondly, do you take the contractors on site to go and see these places that you ask them to provide these structures, or the places to go and work from? Do you take them to go and see first before you give them the contracts, before you employ them to do the works? And if you do so, they do agree. Do they agree to complete in 4 months' time? And if they do, what then is it that allows you to start negotiating or understanding their reasons as to why they should not finish within 4 months, but take almost 2 years now. This is 2026. The structure is not yet completed. I submit, Chair.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Chair. For the first concern, Chair, we have strategized to identify projects that lie within these problematic areas to enhance the procurement quickly and to ensure that the project implementation starts on time, so that within the time the project site is reachable, we are able to interact with the contractor and monitor the progress steadily. Chair, we have also intensified on project monitoring. We have introduced the appointment of contract managers, something that never used to happen. Chair, we have contract managers reporting on each project, Chair, on a weekly basis to track what is happening on each project that is being implemented. Chair, on the issue of taking contractors to site, Chair, we do conduct site visitations during the procurement process. Chair, we take them there to see the sites before they actually bid for the projects. I submit.
Are you saying that before you didn't have contract managers on site?
No, Chair, we did not have. We introduced them as a measure to curb the inefficiencies that we have actually observed.
Most of the works have been delayed. How often do you undertake M&E in SIKONGO, looking at the terrain? Because you are saying these areas are only accessible. Is it July? Yeah, so when was the auditor in SIKONGO? Is it October? Use your microphone.
September 2025.
July, September 2025. How often do you undertake M&E?
Chair, we conduct M&E quarterly, and supervisory visits, Chair, we conduct them monthly.
Okay, so let's go to your administrative component on page 22. On 21. So administrative component for SIKONGO, you had a balance brought forward from 2023 of 265,000 kwacha. The funding received under 2024 was 1.5 million kwacha, and in total you had 1.7, but you overspent by 1.9 on administration. Why did you overspend on administration, and which budget component of CDF was affected by this over expenditure? Yes.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I would like to submit that the over expenditure that was experienced in the year under review was attributed to CDF-related activities that were being implemented that could not be postponed to the other year, like WDC formation that required a lot of money, Chair, to have the WDC formed. Chair, we also have some components which were not budgeted for, like ministerial meetings and other activities that are called upon under the CDF administrative component. I submit, Chair.
Yes. Councils operate using a budget, and you have a budget ceiling in your operation budget. CDF has got budget ceilings for administrative cost. Loans has got a budget ceiling. Disaster has a ceiling. Community projects have a ceiling. My question is, why did you overexpend on the administrative component, which was 1.7, and you spent 3.6? Yes, you have said the WDC. The WDC formation is part of administration. Why did we exceed the expenditure for the year? And which component suffered as a result of this over expenditure? Feel free, if there's one who's got, I can see there, your neighbor is trying to write you things. If he has the answer, let him tell us so that we understand.
Thank you very much, Chair. The component that was affected was the 2025 administrative component. We did not get from any other funding votes. We implemented some of the activities, especially those for third quarter, Chair. We recovered from the administrative component for the following year. So when we received the admin component for the following year, Chair, we channeled the money towards the 2024 projects. Chair, on this particular issue, Chair, in 2025, upon realization that this was the case, we have reduced expenditure actually to manage this particular component.
Before Honorable Mwene comes in, can I put it to you that during this period under review, most of the community projects were not actually done because there was little funding from the Treasury. Do you agree?
Yes, Chair, I agree.
So if you agree, how then did you get this money from the 2025 when there was little activity in terms of M&E because projects were not being done?
Thank you very much, Chair. During the year under review, Chair, there are other components that were not yet implemented, like the loans and grants that were not fully paid as a result of banking issues that challenged the council. Chair, this is where some of the money was borrowed from, and this money was paid in the following year. Some of the grants under 2024 were paid using the funds that were recovered from administrative components 2025.
Honorable Mwene, you wanted to ask?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you the same as I covered it, because I wanted to ask whether because she said what suffered was the 2025 administrative component. So I wanted to ask whether SIKONGO in 2024 they already received the 2025 administrative component. So there was that mix-up. Now she has stated that they used the money for skills and bursaries. I think that was the correct answer, not that you used the money for 2025, which you had not yet received in 2024. Unless you tell us that SIKONGO you received the administrative component for 2025 in 2024. Then we're also going to ask for your bank statements to see how you received the money for the following year in the previous year. Can I go to the next question, Chair?
Before that, in the administration of CDF-CS, is it permitted to get money for loans and other programs to use on administration?
Chair, it is not permitted, and this is regrettable. It is not permitted, Chair, I submit.
It is not permitted, but we borrowed 1.9 to use on administration, rendering other programs not necessary. We've taken note. Yes, Honorable Mon.
Thank you very much, Chair. These questions can be flowing and flowing. If it's not permitted, why did you decide to use the funds for skills bursaries for your own expenses? Why? Is it because they were not there to come and storm at your office that we need money for skills bursaries? Instead, you took money for workshops and so on, or what? What gave you the energy to use other people's money for your expenses? I submit, Chair.
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much, Chair. As earlier mentioned, Chair, this is regrettable. Chair, we did not render the other budget votes irrelevant, but we based on having funds in the account and having activities that needed implementation. Otherwise, Chair, we regret the occurrence, and we have made sure that we do not repeat the same by reducing the expenditure in the following year, Chair. I submit.
Yes, Honorable Mwene.
Thank you very much, Chair. Maybe we go to page 22, my last question.
22?
Yes.
Yes, Honorable.
Payment for undelivered medical equipment and the school furniture. Chair, maybe you can allow me just to read a bit.
Go ahead.
That during the period under review, the local authority engaged 6 contractors at a total contract sum of 6,016,200 kwacha, which included the provision of medical equipment in 4 health facilities and the furniture in 2 schools at a total cost of 1,055,000 kwacha. As at the 30th of September 2025, the local authority had paid amounts totaling 4,645,199 kwacha.
What page is that, Honorable?
I said page 12, Chair. Now I'm reading on page 13. I've gone to page 13 now.
I had 20. You had said page 22.
Sorry? Oh, page 22?
No.
I said 22.
You directed us to page 22.
Apologies, Chair.
Yet you are reading.
I'm not
13.
able to see properly sometimes.
Okay.
The one was seen as a 2 also. So
Go
it's
ahead,
page 12 and 13, Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. So, as at 30th September 2025, the local authority had paid amounts totaling 4,645,199 kwacha, representing 94% of the contract sum. However, the contractors had not delivered medical equipment and furniture in amounts totaling 731,000 kwacha, as indicated in this table below, Chair, which the CSA went through. Now, my question is, why did you pay for undelivered equipment? What prompted you to pay? Someone has not provided the service or the equipment that you need. You say, no, come here. You haven't provided. Yes, no problem. Just pay. Pay them, no problem. Why? I submit, Chair.
Yes, CS.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, this is regrettable, and I would like to submit that this particular contract, Chair, was not for delivery of equipment alone. The delivery of equipment was embedded in the contract for construction of these particular buildings. Chair, management at this stage avoided to contract 2 different contractors to provide the equipment and to also construct the buildings themselves. So the full contract was involving building and supply of the furniture that was required. Chair, at the point of payments, the payments were being made based on the IPCs that were prepared by the engineers. And Chair, they were not specifying as to whether the payment was for delivery or for the building itself, but they were working according to the BOQs. Chair, moving forward, we have corrected this upon realization that this was not working well. This time around, we have not included the supply and delivery in the projects that are being implemented, but we are separating the 2.
Yes, Honorable Mwene.
Thank you very much, Chair. I don't know, these are learned people. They are technocrats, Chair. No IPCs, no BOQs, you pay. So, what kind of payments, or what were you basing your payments on. I submit, Chair.
Yes, yes.
Chair, as earlier mentioned, this is regrettable. And Chair, these particular payments had IPCs, they had payment vouchers, they had all the necessary attaching documents, except the payments were being based on the full contract, not necessarily on the delivery. So at the time of audit, it was discovered that the equipment, the buildings were completed, but the materials were not delivered. But Chair, we have engaged the contractors to deliver the equipment as evidenced on the appendix attached. And Chair, we have only responded, we have only received a positive response from one contractor, and the two contractor, Chair, have not yet responded positively, and we are making follow-ups, Chair, to ensure that the materials are delivered.
Honorable Mwene.
Thank you very much. Chair, I'm not very satisfied with the answers that the CS is giving. You know what, CS? If you're not very conversant with a particular question, ask Director Engineering. They can help you on what they base the cost of a particular contract on. Also, I haven't finished. Also, ask procurement. They can advise you on what they base the payments on equipment on. You cannot say it was just a full contract. So if it was a full contract, it wasn't based on anything. Nothing was the cost for cement. Nothing was the cost for iron sheets. Nothing was the cost on the scissors of the medical equipment. You just woke up, Director Engineering and the procurement, you sat down and then say, oh, okay, this clinic, this mother's shelter, or this whatever maternity, and together with this its equipment is 5 million. Just like that? That's how you cost? So, you know, when you are not precise with your responses, or you are not very sure, so ask engineering department. They will chip in to help you respond, because every cost of a structure has got the basis for them to arrive at that particular cost. They even know how much will go on cement. They know how much will go on iron bars. They know how much will go on labor. They know how much the profit will then remain for the contractor. Also the same, procurement, they will be able to advise to say, okay, for this that the Ministry of Health requires, maybe the bed will cost this much, the linen will cost this much, the mattress will cost this much, transportation will cost this much. Okay, then we are able to tender this particular contract at this much. I think that is what is based on, not so. Not just saying, no, we just paid because we didn't know, it was just a whole cost and so on. That then will prompt us to start asking further questions. Chair, I think I just submit. That's just advice to the CS.
Okay, so is it your position, CS, that you're telling your committee that all the payments made to these three contractors had all the supporting documentation?
Chair, as indicated in my report, I actually stated that this is one of the contracts that were mismanaged, where I held the Director Engineering responsible. The one was managing the project. Chair, up to now, some of the information is missing, and the contractors themselves are not cooperative. And we are just waiting for the last warning that we have given them. If they don't respond, Chair, we intend to institute legal procedures on them. They have not been cooperative in our effort to put in corrective measures to ensure that the materials are delivered.
So what was the basis of payment if the documentation was not there?
Chair, this is the time when the Director Finance deserted my office. I'm sure the auditors can also attest to the fact. I had actually trouble to compile this report and to respond to the Auditor General's findings, because this is the time when Director Finance Chair failed to produce the required documents that the auditors needed. So when I charged him, Chair, he declined to appear before my office for the disciplinary charge, and instead tendered his resignation. So, Chair, even the new Director of Finance still has work to put the Finance Department in order. But we are doing everything possible, Chair, to engage and use all the necessary tools that we have to make sure that the office is in order, and Chair, everything is corrected as advised by the Auditor General's office. I submit.
Let's go to page 29. During the period under review, SIKONGO made a total number of 140 payments amounting to 12.9 million kwacha, 2,428 without supporting documentation. Would you tell the committee what happened? Because yes, Director of Finance cannot be in the office, but for a project, a community project, for example, 1x3 classroom block, the contractor would write to claim works through an IPC. The Director of Engineering will go on the ground based on what they find, the inspection, they then generate a report which they will send to finance. And before it goes to finance, the auditor must also go on the ground to check that indeed these works were done. So we can have a problem with the Director of Finance. What was the role of the other officers in these payments of 12.9 million kwacha? Are you saying this was a cartel, that all the officers were involved, from internal auditor, engineering, Director of Finance? And by then, 2024, I know that the office of the CS was also part of a signatory. It is just now when you're a sub-warrant holder that the CSCs, the town clerks, are being moved from being signatories to this account. How were these payments passed without the supporting documents?
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I would like to submit before this committee that most of the necessary procedures were undertaken on these payments, except at a point where the Director of Finance was supposed to demand for receipts from the contractors. Chair, these 140 transactions involve receipts for the payments that are made to contractors, where the Director of Finance has not managed the filing of the receipts according to the payment vouchers. So most of the payment vouchers for the 140, or the 140 had no receipts attached to them at the time of audit. Chair, post-audit was conducted, pre-audit was conducted, the vouchers were properly signed, but the receipts were missing for the 140. Chair, as already reported in the report, that the Director of Finance then mismanaged the receipt of these particular receipts and proper filing. Chair, we managed to, after he handed over office, to look for the same receipts, and we have managed to recover some of them, which are attached, Chair, and also submitted as an addendum to this report. Chair, we have made steady progress, and we have written to those that are remaining to submit the receipts for the payments made to them. I submit, Chair.
Internal Auditor, what is your comment on this matter?
Thank you, Chair. As my CS has mentioned, as an office, we carried the pre-audit, and we wrote the report to the Council Secretary, of which she instituted action. She had an action, of which the Director of Finance failed to respond. I think if you check on the letter on the charge sheet, it shows that the CS clearly stated that he failed to respond to internal and external auditors' report. I submit.
Before the payments were passed, did they have the necessary documentation?
Yes, sir. Yes, Chair.
And you okayed the payments?
Those, I okayed those with the necessary documents.
We are talking about the whole 140. Did you okay all of them? because they had necessary documentation?
Chair, as I mentioned, I can only okay a payment with a supporting document.
So as regards the 140 that were paid, are you able to confirm that your office okayed them and they had the necessary documentation, only that receipts were not availed?
Thank you, Chair. The payments, I only okayed those which were okay, which had the necessary documents. But those ones which never had the necessary documents, I wrote the Office of the Council Secretary, of which she also requested Director of Finance to give the report over that. So these one were not okay. I did not okay them, the 140 I submit.
So, but some were still paid even when you questioned them?
Yeah, Chair, according to my office, I advise. So it's up to the principal officers if it's to go to take my advice or not. But for me, I advised, and the principal officer also wrote to all the head of departments that no payment should be done.
We have gotten that. My question is very simple. You did not okay all the 140. The external auditors picked 140 payments that were made, transactions, without, some of which did not, in fact, all of them, some had no supporting documentation, to which you are saying, yes, some did not have, and you wrote to the principal officer. Now, my simple question is, were those payments which you questioned paid?
Thank you, Chair. They were paid, but with my, they were paid, but on my report it shows that I did not sign for them.
Very simple. The last question, we go to page 17. Irregular payment of group interest of 23 transactions worth 388,000 kwacha, 506 kwacha, against the Ministry of Finance, Treasury and Financial Management Circular number 1 of 2024. Why was this done in contravention of this circular? CS.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, this as well is regrettable, and there is no amount of explanation that can suffice. Chair, this was discovered during the time of audit. It had not yet, I had not yet observed this. And Chair, immediately the auditor, the audit report was availed to me, Chair. I quickly suspended the payment of irregular interest. Chair, since this payment was done, going forward, no payment was ever made with regard to going against this regulation. From the time I reported at SIKONGO Town Council, this kind of payments have not been made. I submit, Chair.
Yes. Are you saying that for operations, they are not part of the signatories to authorize payments for SIKONGO Council?
Then yes, Chair.
You were not part. When these payments were being made, you were not part of the signatories?
Not yet, because this was the time I had not yet been transferred.
So these were done before you were transferred to SIKONGO?
Yes, Chair.
Okay. Auditor, did you see these transactions? CS, you may switch off your mic.
Chair, as I've mentioned, my office advised.
These are different?
Yes.
Yeah, even on these you advise as well.
Yes, I advise looking at when the circular comes.
Yes.
Then I advise we should avoid paying through.
Who was the town clerk? Who was the council secretary for SIKONGO at that time?
Chair, it was Mr. Katuka.
Julius Katuka, my former Zarasa Secretary General. Very unfortunate. SIKONGO, I don't know what was happening there, but there is need to look at SIKONGO. The report for SIKONGO is very bad. We have delayed projects, community projects, poor workmanship, irregular award of contracts to contractors outside the province without clear justification, payment for undelivered medical equipment and school furniture at the time of audit, irregular approval and payment of empowerment grants, including questionable sharing of account numbers by clubs, significant unspent funds under community projects and loans at the end reflecting weak implementation, misapplication of loan funds, failure to implement funded projects, and weak loan recovery mechanism with substantial outstanding balances. Failure to provide loan application and agreement forms at the time of audit, indicating weak records and management. Unsupported payments amounting to substantial sums, the one we were just discussing, raising serious concerns about compliance with financial regulations. Failure to obtain ZRA tax clearance certificates before processing payments, another huge figure. The transfer of officers who leave damage in this council and then they are taken to another council needs to come to an end. We need to be holding officers responsible for the financial irregularities that they commit in their respective councils. You cannot have a situation where the internal auditor advises a controlling officer that this payment should not go ahead because it lacks supporting documentation, but then the principal officer passes the payment. The Local Government Service Commission, these things are here in these reports. Again, we would like to see disciplinary action taken for such matters. This is not money for individual officers. This is money meant for the people of SIKONGO, money meant for the people of Zambia, money meant to bring service delivery to the districts. As you can see, I noted almost 3 health centers, maternity annexes being constructed in SIKONGO but being delayed. Money is being paid to contractors through collusion, but works not being done on time, and some abandoned works. It's a serious worry. We get worried because the monies are there, but we, the people who are supposed to implement these projects, want to eat this money. That's why we don't want to follow the financial circulars that govern us how we use interest. We don't want to follow the Public Finance Management Act number 1 of 2018 because they have been put to protect resources. It's a caution to all the officers. This cannot continue. This cannot continue. Since you're saying you are new, The committee directs that you strengthen procurement processes and ensure transparency and fairness in contract awards while promoting local contractor participation in line with the government policy. Enforce strict contract management practices, including supervision, defect liability, enforcement, and timely project completion. Ensure that no payments are made for undelivered goods or services and transactions that are not fully supported by proper documentation. Strengthen internal audit functions to detect and prevent irregular payments before funds are disbursed. Establish robust monitoring systems for grant and loan beneficiaries. Implement firm and enforceable loan recovery strategies, including legal action against defaulters where necessary. Ensure strict adherence to Treasury circulars and statutory requirements, including obtaining ZRA tax clearance certificates prior to making payments. Improve financial planning to ensure timely utilization of CDF funds within the financial year. And lastly, ensure that you spend money within the budget. The over expenditure of administrative funds to the tune of 1.9 is very unfortunate. And we hope that you will reimburse that money to the program that suffered. Otherwise, the committee emphasizes that the Constituency Development Fund is a critical tool for improving the livelihoods of the people of SIKONGO constituency. The weaknesses identified in the procurement, financial management, project supervision, and loan administration must be addressed urgently and comprehensively. SIKONGO Town Council is expected to implement sustained corrective measures to restore financial discipline, strengthen governance systems, and ensure that public resources translate into tangible and measurable development outcomes for the community. Very important. This is, we come to the end of our interaction, but the report for SIKONGO is very bad. We hope that you take the measures that we've highlighted seriously. We hope to see a better report next time. We also hope that the Local Government Service Commission has taken note of this report. We would like to see the officers responsible being held accountable, not through transfers. We should follow the conditions of service to the latter. We want to see local government practitioners to be serious with their work. It shouldn't be business as usual. It shouldn't be business as usual, because local governance is there to take services to the people. Your immunity is hereby removed. You are now on your own. What you say beyond this point is not protected. Thank you for your appearance. You are free to leave.
Thank you for still being with us on Parliament Television. That was SIKONGO Town Council, led by their Council Secretary, Dr. Felicitas Simwanga, just from making their submission before the committee. That's for the consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the Constituency Development Fund for the financial year ended 31st December 2024. And earlier on, we did have Limulunga Town Council. And that concludes today's live broadcast of the Committee on Local Government Accounts. But be sure to join us later in the afternoon at about 14:30 for the live parliamentary proceedings. From me, Taza Piri, and the entire production crew, we wish you a lovely afternoon.
Get ready for the 17th meeting of the Network of African Parliamentary Committees of Health, NEPACO, from 25th to 27th February 2026 at the Mulungushi International Conference Center, Kenneth Kaunda Wing, under the theme Repositioning Parliamentarians to Enhance Health Systems for Emergency Response, Equity, Resilience, and Sustainability in the context of attaining universal health coverage. Join parliamentarians from over 27 African countries as they drive health equity, resilience, and sustainability for all Africans. Catch the live broadcast of all the proceedings of the meetings on Parliament Radio and Television. Your health, your parliament, your future. Parliament Television, bringing Parliament closer to you.
My eParliament mobile application. My eParliament is a mobile application developed by the National Assembly of Zambia.
Ninayabankale kukufunsira mapoti nine pawi mawi yanga sana veke malemba soka la jaga ubwereso kwa ineyo tiza kala okondwa tawi zonse wabwera konso kuchikwati sufuna umango kumenya ama chikwati wabwera konso kuchikwati sufuna mango kumenya amama chikwati Zamba zokona alinagaziena wabanyumba ukalangari panchi baga mama kuchikwati Oniza kala nawe kwa ineyo dale tawi zonse wabwera konso chikwati sufuna mango kumera mama chikwati when you're gone I felt for you just wabwera konso kuchikwati sufuna mango kumenya mama kuchikwati wabwera konso
Hello and welcome to Life After Parliament right here on Parliament TV and radio. I am your presenter. My name is Joe Muyunda Akatama. Now on this program, we get to talk to various people who served as members of parliament in various constituencies in Zambia since 1964, as long as they are still alive. Today, yet again, I'm privileged to speak to one of the former members of parliament for Shiwangandu constituency. I'll allow him to introduce himself. Honorable, welcome to Life After Parliament program.
Thank you very much indeed. I thank you for coming. My full names are Lieutenant Colonel Henry Muyowa, retired. I joined the Zambia Air Force in 1965. Before that, I'm a freedom fighter who served under leadership of Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. I joined UNIP in 1959, and in 1960 I became a youth organizing secretary for Kabwata, and I played a prominent role during the 1962 coalition government between the ANC and UNIP. At that time we had 6 suburbs in Lusaka, which was Matero, Chinika, Chiboria, Kamwala, Kabwata and Chilenje, for which I was the coordinator. And during the upper row and lower row elections, there was no winner. But fortunately enough, Halimwanga Nkumbula had a heart of cooperation, a heart of working with other political parties. ANC of Halimwanga Nkumbula and UNIP